I was asked about the distinction between being and doing, or beingness and doingness. So, beingness is associated with the principles or values by which we live our lives, those mental constructs that precede all of our actions that we say are important. Open, kind, fair, honest, truthful, vision, love, compassion, forgiveness, right? States of being. It's how we tend to describe our experience of someone. Oh, she is the verb to be, right? I am, you are, he, she is, it is. So she is open and kind. He is compassionate. Those states of being, though, could also be those, distorted ones. Like he is condescending, he is closed, he is aloof, he is critical, right? So the principles, the higher ordered values or principles by which we live our lives are the states of being. And then the doing is just the behavior and the actions in which we engage. And so there are two formulas that are offered. One formula is do, have, be. So, what do I need to do so I can have what I desire and then ultimately be happy? What happens a lot of time with that formula is it's rooted in fear. So, when we come up against something for which we experience, see, fear has so many faces. So, doubt, concern, bewilderment, angst, anxiety, right? Those faces of fear. We tend to want to do things. What can we do? I need to do something to get out of this rut. I need to do something to get past this experience, right? And then if I do the right thing or combination of things, then I can have the desired outcome. But what happens a lot of time is who we're being is given very little consideration. Who we're being is left out of the equation. So the other formula is be, do, have. Who am I being will give me some idea of what to do. And then that doing will allow me to have what I say matters, what I say desires, what speaks to my heart, what aligns with my vision. Hamlet, third act, to be or not to be. Right? He doesn't say to do or not to do. He's asking, who do I get to be? And he's aware of two choices. I can choose to be blind. I can choose to be open and available to speak the truth of what I see. I can choose to be closed, like closed down. I can choose to be disinterested. I can choose to be critical of the feedback that his father's giving to him in the dream. If you don't know, the short part of this is that Hamlet's father was murdered by his brother, which would be Hamlet's uncle. And his uncle is now sleeping with and married to and about to take the throne, but sleeping with and married to Hamlet's mom, and about to take the throne, which would belong to Hamlet. So he's got all of this stuff going on, and he doesn't ask, what do I do? He asks, who do I get to be? Because implicit in that is that it'll give him some idea of what to do. So that formula, be, do, have, it's even in Gandhi's quote, be the change we wish to see. It doesn't say do the change we wish to see. Be. Am I going to be open? Am I going to be honest? Am I going to be fair? Am I going to be kind? Am I going to be truthful? Am I going to be clear? Am I going to be available? So those states of being give us some idea of what to do. So if I'm in a conversation with a friend and I say, this moment calls for me to be empathetic, then being empathetic will allow me to make choices about how I'm behaving. Open body position. I'm listening more than I'm speaking. When I give feedback, it really just aligns with what I heard the person say, not me interjecting my own thoughts or opinions necessarily, right? And then that will allow me to have the experience of being in relationship with a friend, a healthy relationship with a friend. It'll allow me to have the experience of being a friend. It will allow me to have the experience of being empathetic. So the being versus doing It's just a choice. Neither is good, bad, right, or wrong. They tend to produce different results. And just because you start with what you're doing and knowing that that will allow you to have something, it doesn't mean that you won't be clear about who you're being. But it's been my experience in my own life that when I'm operating out of that fear-based place, I'm not concerned with who I'm being. I want to do what I need to do to get what I desire to have. And a lot of times that's at the expense of myself and then the relationships that I create. But boy, when I start with who do I get to be in this moment, then I recognize it's a choice. And all of those principles or values or ways of being give me some idea of what to do so I can have what I say matters. That's all. Be gentle on your journey.